More than 165,000 students in Quebec, Canada have been on strike for more than 9 weeks in response to a provincial government plan that would raise university tuition rates, some of the lowest in the country, by 75% over the next 5 years. The student movement has since grown in popularity, with a March 22nd demonstration drawing nearly 300,000 supporters.
We're here in Montreal, Quebec, at the latest of a number of large-scale mobilizations, where demonstrators are protesting not only the planned student tuition hikes, but a number of other policies of the provincial Liberal government, which they say has been pushing a neoliberal agenda that places corporate interests over the interests of average working people.
The April 14th action, which drew more than 85,000 participants, was timed for the 9-year anniversary of the election of Quebec Premier Jean Charest of the Liberal Party.
Le gouvernement s'assurera de notre passivité collective et ça, on n'en veut pas! Ce que le plus corrompu et le plus lâche de tous les gouvernements de l'histoire contemporaine du Québec est en train d'essayer de faire, c'est de détruire tout espoir que la mobilisation citoyenne peut amener un changement social, démocratique et d'envergure.
Student organizer and spokesperson Gabriel Nadeu-Dubois says that the government has so far failed to engage with the students to negotiate an end to the strike, and that the growing movement has attracted the support of a number of other sectors affected by government initiatives to privatize public services.
For the moment, there has been no real answer. The government announced an increasing of the student loans last week, which is for us totally unacceptable because we think that indebtedness for the student is not a way to increase accessibility, but there is another obstacle to accessibility. So what we want is the government to go back on the decision of increasing tuition fees, and on this specific point there has been absolutely no response from the government. Since 4 or 5 years we're in Quebec in an unprecedented wave of tariffication and privatization of all the public services. Not only education, but also our health system, who is facing more and more threats of privatization. This government decided to put what they call a taxe santé, a health tax of $200 per year per person. And what we've seen since maybe 1 or 2 weeks is really the student strike gaining more and more popularity in the population, with a lot of other groups, social group, unions, community groups joining the student movement to fight not only the tuition increase, but all those measures of privatization of our public services.
One of the many groups participating in the mobilizations is the Fédération Interprofessionnelle de la Santé du Québec, an association of Quebec health workers. FIQ Executive Committee member Robert Bamba explains why himself and others came out in support of the students.
It's a liberal government, but with the neoliberalization, there's more and more a move to the right. Also with our conservative government in Canada, that move is towards the right. So it's always with regards to decentralization, less involvement by the government. So indirectly, people will have to pay more for their services, be it healthcare or education.
The students have shown no indication that they will call off the strike and return to classes, even as the semester comes to a close. Student organizer Rushdia Mahrin says that the students came to the decision to go on strike through their weekly held general assemblies, after all other strategies failed to make any progress with the provincial government.
Since this cuts were announced, students took all the usual measures. You know, like there were demonstrations, there were petitions, there were letters. We called the ministers and the prime minister. We did all the measures possible, but they just didn't budge. So our ultimate strategy, ultimate tactic to fight this is strike, because this strike basically causes a lot of disruption to the government. The official numbers say that every hour of strike costs over $100,000 to the government. So until now, that it actually cost them millions of dollars. I think 81 million, if I remember it right. So that's why strike is an effective means to get the government to listen to our demands.
Another mobilization, also expected to draw large numbers of supporters, has been planned for April 22nd, 1 month after the action that drew hundreds of thousands of Quebecois to the streets of Montreal. In addition to asserting their opposition to the planned hikes, a number of students are also calling for free state-funded higher education, what has become North America's largest student movement. Reporting from Montreal, Quebec, this is David Doherty with the Real News Network.